Hello guys, welcome to What If Civilization Started Over, episode 13. I'm first gonna tell you the recap of last episode. Last episode, we saw more exploration, we saw the creation of this nation, and we saw the creation of this nation from China, Myanmar, and Vietnam. And we saw Italy expand upper into the other Italian nation, and we saw the this country right here declare war on the Gold Nation. So the first thing we're going to see is not this. I added government tax. So most of the countries right now are most likely monarchies, because we're still in like the 1300s, 1400s. So none of the nations are like a few nations, mostly puppet states, and only one nation that are mostly constitutional monarchies. So I also added populations of each nation. Scotland has a population of 11.55, so that's what I also added. The most populated nation is India. So yeah, the population of the world is this much. And I also added provinces, not to every single nation though. I couldn't edit, so I added provinces to this nation and also Nigeria and this nation right here. So let me check if I added something else. And I also added an alliance layer, so this will be. So that's what I added in the last episode. And if my voice sounds a little bit weird, I'm sick right now, so yeah. So what we're gonna look at this episode is what I said would happen. This nation here, looking at it's number 10, the 10th longest nation on this map, on the power rankings, but they're not doing well in diplomacy, so we're gonna see this nation collapse into many factions. So the first faction that comes up is this faction of this color right here. So this is the first one, calling for independence. And the next faction is this faction right here. The Qatar faction. Next faction being this nation, this faction right here. So these are the factions of these nation, but something weird will come up. This nation was invaded by these nations, so this nation right here is wanting to get some land from this, so they're gonna help the Omani nation with their civil war and start fighting this faction, getting very close to their capital. But this faction ends up pushing them back and fully pushing them out, and these two nations end up forcing it to get out of the war. So while that was happening, this faction right here will start going fast. It captures this area right here. This faction right here will try to fight, but the Omani military will fully destroy it, fully conquering it. This faction will fully end up making a border with this other faction, this Qatari faction. So they start going for the mainland here. So this faction ends up invading this much, and their goal is now to reach the capital. But something horrible ends up happening. This nation right here do a naval landing in the UAE areas, and these people know what will happen to them if they go under these people's rule. So as I was saying, the Persians will connect up and fully cut out, and most of the people that live here will not be able to run out to go to the other side, so they fully get taken, and they end up fully capturing the capital. Look, a few of the people flee to these other nations right here, but so with that, we're gonna look at the peace treaty. This part will surrender. So let's look at this peace treaty. This is the treaty that they come up with. This country and these countries and this country end up getting this area, and most of the people in this area end up getting killed. So that's very bad. So this is the peace treaty. The capital of the Qatar nation is here. The capital of this nation is here. The capital, there's no capital here because it's now a part of Qatar. So, of Iran. So this is a very bad thing because Iran is technically genociding people that are not their religion. So yeah, that's very bad for them. So something else that is out of context. A person from the German puppet state went to the going into the French capital and talking to the French leader and saying, we are sick and tired of going all around Africa to reach India because the Suez Canal is not here yet, so they're forced to go all around Africa. So they say they're sick and tired. So then they're like, if the world is round, we should be able to go this side, and if we go this side, we should be able to find India. But the French end up refusing this proposal, so he ends up moving straight to Portugal and saying the proposal to the Portuguese. The Portuguese, they end up following this. So a big Portuguese explorer, they start exploring down, and they fully explore till this area, and they think this is like somewhere like in China, but they're confused because there's no Chinese flags. They don't know that this is a whole new continent. So since they don't see anyone here, anyone in this area, they make the first ever American colony. So the explorers go straight back and be like, it's a success, we found Asia, which they're thinking this is, but this is not Asia. So they and the Portuguese are very happy. They say we found a new continent. They don't know that this is not Asia at all. So that's what they're saying. And with that, we see the end of this video. I'm sorry this was a little bit shorter than the rest. We're gonna look more at more colonization in the North American theater. I have started that. So yeah, thank you for watching this episode of What If Civilization Started Over. Goodbye.